things are starting to really change for crypto. And I think the moment this really starts rolling, all our bags are going to see some really ridiculous results. I'm not talking a little bit of gains. I'm talking just absolutely massive amounts of gains. And I've said it on multiple occasions, I think you're not excited enough, but let me quickly show you exactly why. So this in front of me right here is the ex-CEO of Binance, co-founder of Binance. He posted a while back, just like a week ago or so, that the Russian lawmaker proposes a strategic Bitcoin reserve to counter geopolitical challenges. As Bitcoin gains traction globally, Tkachev's plans positions Russia to use digital currency as a hedge against geopolitical financial barriers. And that was pretty interesting. Why? Well, because it brought up the question of which country is really good. Okay, there's a couple of countries already. But which country was really going to be the first to do it? I guess El Salvador kind of won that. But out of the big ones, you know, the China, Russia, America, Japan, India, maybe, which one of those is going to be first? And another one now, all of a sudden, a few days after, started saying, you know what? Here we've got Japan. Japanese lawmakers push for strategic Bitcoin reserve. Besides that, we know that Trump is going to enter office. You remember what he said a very short while ago.
You're embracing crypto, very different from the previous administration. Strategic petroleum reserve like for crypto?
Yeah, I think so. We're going to do something great with crypto because we don't want China or anybody else, and not just China, but others are embracing it, and we want to be the head. We're going to be ahead of AI. We're going to be way ahead of AI, and we've got to produce tremendous amounts of electricity. You know that it's unbelievable when you think that we need more than twice what we already have. If you think that's pretty for a specific industry, but we'll be able to do it. We have 𝗕𝗓𝗏 in charge of the environment. He's going to be giving us very strong approvals, I think, and he's going to make sure everything's good and clean and proper, but he's going to give us very fast approvals.
And so we know he's basically embracing it, or he's basically now saying, hey, you know what? We don't want to be left behind, but we've talked about that. So how does this all together? Well, I think with this post right here. Vorbs, what did they post earlier? Well, they posted something that is, in my opinion, game-changing, just massive. No one is prepared for a $700,000 Bitcoin, but it's happening. Just a matter of time. What happened? Well, Trump confirms Bitcoin reserve plans. $15 trillion price boom predicted. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, realize that Bitcoin goes first. And if Bitcoin really goes towards those heights, remember what that can do for our altcoin bags. And the funny thing is, a lot of these things can literally start snapping in the matter of a few months. We can literally be at a 10x on most of our altcoins in just a few months off of one announcement. Remember, if Trump goes through with any of these, every other country will have to look at it. A lot of other countries will have to accept that this is now a race, because ultimately, I want you guys to think of this really, really well. But actually, before I show you, make sure you press that like button. Let me show you something. I want you to realize that one company, in this case here, specifically from a US person, but I'm not sure where MicroStrategy is officially settled. I think also in the US. Don't quote me on that. But MicroStrategy, one company, now officially owns 2% of the entire Bitcoin supply. Now that, in the past, would have been pretty easy to do, all cool and all, but that number, 2%, is going to keep getting harder and harder over time. And I'm so convinced in Bitcoin, the tech, and the industry that I keep realizing it's going to really be a battle over percentages, because there will only ever be 21 million coins in total. And if nobody wants to sell them no more, well, the price has got to go up, huh? And it's got to go up by a ton if this continues on. Especially as these countries now seriously all start FOMOing it over each other. None of them want to miss out. None of them want to be the last to adopt it. Think about how crazy quick things can move here. And I always like to revert back to this one. I may be early, but I'm not wrong. And even though I'll never claim to be a financial advisor, when I look at this crypto space, and I've been saying the same thing since I started making these videos almost 8 years ago, I keep saying the same thing. You might not see the full vision just quite yet. It's okay. Just realize that what we've got is a golden opportunity. We are at the precipice of the craziest of fluctuations in terms of the financial structure of our time, unless you're 100 and something. The current financial system, it's not going to be sustainable. Not from the perspective that everything is crooked, because even though it is, just with crooked parts you can really sustain for a long time. But just because, generally speaking, society lasts for X amount of years, we're not going to say society is going to fall apart anytime soon, right? We don't know when it's going to happen, not anytime soon. Financial systems, though, the way we currently got it with the United States dollar as the world reserve currency, they stay what? Median, and I think mean both the same in this case, 95 years. We've been what? 100 and something years already? I think the upper bound of that was also 115 years, which we're closing in on. If you really start thinking about it at that point or from that perspective, yes, we might have a 20-year more horizon or so, but many of these countries also realize the same numbers we talk about here. They want to pivot to at least get a stronger position in a perhaps future world reserve currency that could be based on Bitcoin, could not be, but they want to at least pivot. And think about it. If any of these countries was able to be early to gold, in hindsight now, they would have done it. If they see Bitcoin similar to gold, which again, companies like BlackRock are doing, they keep saying allocate just like how you might want to allocate to something like gold, like a sort of stable back reserve kind of asset. If countries could be earlier to gold, because back then there was also big fights over it, but actually you got to think about it from the perspective that at some point, some countries or some areas, some entities had to be first to be like, we really want to hold this for everything and we want to back our currencies with it. Okay, that one moved a little bit differently, obviously knowing where currencies came from, but regardless, the earlier you can be, the more beneficial. And a lot of countries, I think, are right now going to have a big battle over it. I don't think it's going to be Cold War type of vibes, where it's going to be really big fighting over it, but don't exclude that from like our 20-year plan or our 100-year plan, I guess. With that being said, I'm not going to tell you right now that it's going to be an easy journey. Expect crashes. Expect things to go mayhem in the midst. They want to shake you out. And I often like to refer back to the idea that if there's only 21 million coins, and by the way, I always speak on Bitcoin, I know it, but I'm bullish on the entire crypto space. Bitcoin is just the center of it all. If there's only 21 million coins, right? It makes a lot of sense that they want you to sell for cheap so they can buy them for cheap and just they never let go. Even the guys like Michael Saylor from MicroStrategy, they buy tops, they buy bottoms, they don't care, they just buy. If you think about it like that, the big companies, they don't really care about the average price because they know it's going to be going to millions, if not tens of millions in the future. I refer back to XRP. I always do that. Now at $2.50, you're thinking, $2.50 or $2, that's pretty big difference. But a while back, 50 cents and $0 was the world of difference, if you get my drift. And right now, a 50-cent move is something, sure, but we all think, it could go back to $1 something in a day. That's a $1 move, for example, in a day that people are afraid of. Right now, that's a lot, but even if we extrapolate to the future, I don't think it's going to matter too much if you bought at $1, $2, $7, if it's at hundreds, for example. And I seriously believe many of our coins are going to do multiple hundreds of multipliers from where we're at today. And perhaps even within 1 year, we'll still see more than 10, 20x's. And I just think anybody who can't see that, we're not on the same level. This is not even a trading video today. I'm just talking here from world reserve currency type of perspective. I really don't see any world where they're not going to FOMO, and that means fear of missing out. So they're all going to basically act a little bit irrationally, perhaps, because they don't want to be the last. Nobody wants to be first. More importantly, nobody wants to be last. Anyway, I really see that world. And once more, if you do not see the vision of all these countries going over crazy over it, and there really being a shortage of sorts because a lot of countries, a lot of companies, a lot of just don't want to let go of more. With gold, there's this issue of there's actually new ones being mined by quite a big rate. We don't really officially, we have models. We don't know how much gold there is officially. We don't know if it's going to be able to be gotten from space too much. Whatever. Name your excuse. We don't know exactly how much people already have. Again, models, but they could have lied from the past. The distribution, it goes back so far, whereas with Bitcoin and these cryptocurrencies, it's all the newer age. Everything can be tracked and traced. It's theoretically speaking from all that a way better system, a lot more fair also. But to me, it just makes so much sense that this is going to be happening. And I really want a lot of you guys to feel that too. Because if you don't, I really feel sorry for you because it makes my life making these videos, talking about this crypto every single day so much easier because this 2025 bull run, right? How can you miss it? How can you do wrong in that? The only way in which you can do wrong is if you're not bullish. If you're thinking if you're thinking of selling at any point here, man, do I feel bad for you because I'm not. I might think, hey, let me sell real quick to buy back cheaper or whatever. But there's a lot of people who said, man, this might have been the top. This might blah, blah, blah. Fools. No, I wouldn't call you a fool for that. But these are a lot of people that just follow emotions all the time. Oh, I should have bought. Oh, I should have bought more. Oh, I should have held. Oh, I should have taken profit. Oh, I should have waited for the dip. Should have paid my rent for. Where's my... Should have bought food. Why did I buy food? I should have bought that coin. Just the everlasting cycle of regret. Or like this picture, damn, I wish I bought when things are doing well. I was right for not buying. I'm happy. Happy I sold the bottom. Not the bottom because it's going down lower. And then screw it. Because things started going back up. See a longer term vision. Think of it. Visualize it. Understand what is happening. Read the room a little bit. All right. See Japan coming in. Russia coming in. China probably at some point. Trump is going hard for it. Man, he literally said they're going to make it the freaking country for it. You think this is going to let it be slipped out of our fingers? There's some FUD. For example, there is an article going around that Google is working on their quantum computing and we're so afraid that Bitcoin's going to be cracked. I saw one comment about it. Somebody was scared. Here's one of the main mans, all right? If you want to know the guy who can literally explain it to you in baby language, exactly how Bitcoin works, go to Add him back. But even the guy behind CryptoQuant, nice analytics platform, said, Bitcoin won't be broken by quantum computers this decade or likely even the next. Don't fall for baseless FUD from people who don't know what they're talking about. For information, Adam is the legendary cryptographer and the inventor of proof of work, used obviously in Bitcoin. And that's because this early stage investor Chamath on Google's Willow Chips cracking Bitcoin said, when Sundar posted this, I missed my next meeting because I had to figure this out. We need about 8,000 chips to break SHA-256 behind Bitcoin. We're in the 2 to 5 year shot clock for chains re-implementing new hashing algorithms, to secure Bitcoin better. In this case here, the algorithm 256 might not work anymore is what they're saying. But Adam says, nope. You can't increase entangled qubits by wiring lots of 105 qubit chips. It's not exactly how it works. We're not remotely close to a 1,000,000 qubit computer this decade or likely next either. And if we are getting closer and closer towards it, usually we'll know and there's going to be a fix for it. But then again, even that, Michael says, hey, Adam, how many qubits do you think it would need to really post a threat to Bitcoin's private keys? Assuming on a single chip or most reasonable configuration, because obviously it's not just stacking them on top of each other if you know anything about quantum computing. He says millions of physical qubits all entangled is what the quantum experts are saying. So we're 5 orders of magnitude away. You can obviously understand how far away that is. And at the same rate of progress as the last 25 years, we're like 50 years away. Now, if something changes, a technology step, that's cool. So just for context, that was the end of the post actually. Long story short, next 10 years, don't worry about it too much. And at that point, they'll find a way to fix everything. But those are legitimate concerns for people. I don't mind any of those, but understand that those are the only type of concerns that I want to see people talk about. Not the, yeah, but is it going to be adopted or is it all just one big scam, really? I thought we've gotten past that, but no, a lot of people still think so. And the same for altcoins. People come up to you every single day and they're like, oh, Dusty, are you really still bullish on that or this? The answer is yes. Am I sure it's going to go up tomorrow, today? No. Am I sure of where we're headed over the next decade, though? Yep, I am pretty freaking sure. Every single time I look at these coins, I think, oh, if only I just bought more when things were lower. I know when things go down, you might hate yourself sometimes. You think, oh, you see, I should have sold. All don't really matter in the grand scheme of things. Remember, when XRP is trading at, for example, this is an exaggerated example. When it's trading at $760, it's not going to matter if you bought at $1.11 or $2.25. You were really freaking early. When Bitcoin's trading at $13 million at some point, it's not going to matter if you bought at $102,000 or $99.8 thousand, $99.1. It's all very short-sighted. It's fine. But my target is really far along the horizon, and so I'm just taking advantage with these trades of all the moves on the way. But since everything, generally speaking, is going up, I try to prevent shorting when the market's for the most part so bullish, especially now with Bitcoin getting to new heights. But primarily just going for longs and longing the longs, getting in deeper and deeper, and buying my way down, etc., because I know where we're headed. We just, by the way, got rejected again earlier today for XRP at about 245. But man, that's the story. That's about it. And I really wonder how many of you guys agree with me on this. But you know what? Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree about the whole thesis of we're going to freaking millions. It's just taking time. The countries are going to want to adapt this quickly. The next big push is going to be probably Trump, as he's going to make a lot of these other countries fear of missing out. Maybe some other country wants to put their step in the door first to beat Trump in this. Could be. We'll see. But I'm crazy excited, and I hope you guys are too. Yeah, that's about it for today. Make sure you put the notification on so you never miss out on whenever something really crazy happens. And make sure you press that like button. Why not?